All right, welcome everybody to another episode of Three Birds and a Punt. My name is Afia, and I'm joined by my co-host John. Say hey, John.
Hey, how you doing?
All right, Whip couldn't be here tonight, but we're gonna hold it down. Thank you all for joining us to another episode 44. Where do we go from here? The title needs no explanation. We'll get right into it. You all know what we're talking about. As always, we are excited to announce that we've partnered with AmazeMedia Labs to be the official Eagles podcast of the Pigskin Network. You can find the Three Birds and a Punt on YouTube, Spotify, Apple, Megaphone, or wherever you get your podcast. We're also on Twitter and on Instagram at Three Birds and a Punt. YouTube, you see it scrolling down. Please download and subscribe. We appreciate all the support. Got to give a shout out to Connor. I just talked to him this morning. Um, great fan out in the UK. So just know that we are super appreciative of all the fans and all the support we get from you guys.
Connor, what's up, brother?
All right, yeah, you know him. All right, John. Honestly, John, I just want to jump right into it. Okay, let's start with the worst news of this week. The Sixers were bounced out of the playoffs. Okay, by the flipping Heat. I live down here, so um, it's terrible to be in the midst of Heat Nation right now, seeing how badly we got spanked and who spanked us. Jimmy Butler, knowing we had Jimmy and let him go, presumably for someone who then forced his way out anyway.
Yep.
Um, I don't know what to think. I'm left with a lot of questions and not very many answers. If you can listen to what all the sources are saying about the Sixers' moves moving forward. Um, you're my eternal optimist. Talk me back into the Sixers because right now I'm on the way out.
Hey, it's good to be back, family. Thank you for joining us. Um, it's disappointing. Like regular season, you felt the chemistry, and you felt like things would turn out better. You just knew that something special was here because Joel was healthy. The team played well, and that was prior to us getting Harden. And then we got Harden, and then we finished on a strong note. Then the playoffs started, and then we found out that Joel got in that injury, and then another compounded injury, and then it was a lot of ups and downs. It was a roller coaster season, heck of a regular season, ended on a bad note. Um, it looks like Doc is coming back. It looks like Harden is coming back, but I hope he comes back at a reduced rate because if he wants the max, that's gonna handcuff us. And also a big question: what do we do with Tobias? That contract is bloated, but he's a glue guy. Outside of the last two games, he's been a constant, and um, it was hard seeing Jimmy Butler run off the court saying y'all chose the Tobias Harris over me. That was tough because Jimmy was our heart for sure. Tobias was the glue that kept everything together. JJ Redick was the eyes. So like they all played the part, and to see that I was like, damn, he's right, but it's messed up too. Like damn. So where do we go from here? I don't even know. We got to build on the spark of Maxi. They got to do something with Thibault. I don't know. Danny Green, that's hard to. That Danny Green, a healthy Danny Green, could have helped, but it's hard to put that on a 34-year-old swingman that's already won
Yeah,
everything. You know what I mean? Um, George Yang, he could be a depth piece.
ghost.
He could be a depth piece. I bring him off the bench like he was. He's not a good defensive player, but he could come in and hit threes. He might be better suited for that. But you got to get a four, and you got to get a three. Uh, they really got to invest in like a Bradley Beal, like an Otto Porter Jr. is like the type of player they need to go with Tobias. To go, I don't even know if Tobias is gonna be here. That's the tough one. That's the
See,
one.
this is
As
why I like talking to
hard as
you,
coming
Doc.
back, it's gonna be Tobias. And now that we know Doc is gonna want Tobias back too. And or the first, I didn't like Doc's rotations. And then it's funny, we're getting blown out, or we're out of reach. You want to put the young guys in now. You sit that kid Jaden Springer down in the G League to be like a runner-up for G League MVP to play him like the last 2 games of the playoffs. Like that doesn't make sense. You invested a first-round pick in this dude. Now you have no first-round picks. How you like that? You should have played the first-round pick during the season, saw what get him seasoning, and next year he can cook. You can replace Danny Green with him or somebody else. That's how the Eagles think. That's how Howie Roseman thinks. That's why he's a step ahead. And I think I'm very bullish on the Eagles this year.
Well, listen, this is why I needed to talk to you, because you are definitely solution focused. Okay, also this is why we need a Negadelphia whip over here too.
Come on,
to just bring us back down to earth. And I want to say a quick shout out to Ann. Hey, Ann, another great fan of ours. Thank you for tuning in with us tonight. We appreciate your support. Yeah, I hear you with that. But I ain't trying to talk about solutions right now. I'm here to vent. Okay, I'm here to say, excuse my French, explicit language incoming. Fuck all that nonsense. Okay,
tear it all down.
Fuck that shit. Okay. I really honestly think that the biggest problem we had was Doc, and if not for him, we would have been advancing beyond, because I think that the fact that you were expecting a championship level performance out of your clearly hurting, your clearly hobbled MVP candidate player, I think you needed to be more. You needed to be able to get these guys to dig in more as these role players, and you couldn't. And I think Tobias brought up a great point that they lacked mental toughness. They lacked a sense of leadership. The second round is a buzzsaw, and we don't lack the fortitude to withstand these punches.
They really should have added a Tariq.
And that's on coach.
They should have added like a Tariq Evans or like a J.R. Smith, even though he's playing golf. Shout out to J.R. Smith. You're the GOAT. Thank you for going back to school. But they should have got a tough dude like that. What's that?
JoJo brought it up. He wanted somebody. He's like,
we need a Mike Scott. We need a Mike Scott. We need a Mike Scott. Mike Scott was a toughness.
Somebody with energy. The fact that you have JoJo, who's hurt, diving, slamming onto the floor, clearly not being able to be his best self, but still trying to give you his all. And that didn't inspire his guys to go out and work harder, faster, stronger. I'm really, really, really out on this version of what Doc's trying to sell us. That he can be, the idea that the Sixers weren't expected to do anything when he came. Like, he came and brought them to the man. We've been in the second round of the playoffs for 3 out of 4 years now. It seems like, okay, nobody you didn't do no better than Brett Brown. Okay, and honestly, first it was Ben Simmons' fault, and you could give somebody credit for this, right? And now, okay, it's JoJo's injuries fault. No, I think it's your performance, your poor performance as a coach, because even when JoJo was out, y'all, we was about to get swept. JoJo just brought just an ounce of respectability onto this process.
Yep.
That was about to be owned for, because you could not adjust to Jimmy Butler. He literally was their entire offense, and you couldn't adjust.
But the role players played well too.
Get James Harden to buy in.
Vincent and the other dude.
The fact that Bam Adebayo went off.
Max Strauss.
Who the fuck is Max Strauss?
He went to DePaul, like B-ball Paul.
But you know what that tells you? You know what that tells you? Coaching matters. Okay? You're not gonna run it back and get different results. And
Bolster is a player's coach. Like, that dude,
it's just infuriating to me, because Doc is one of the most condescending, grading, very, very know-it-all. He's very, very defensive, and that's not gonna work. And I don't know, because I think that if, and I know Joel's not that guy. For all the intents and purposes that people want to put on Joel, oh, why you speaking the truth on your teammate in front of the public? Why are you saying this? Why are you saying that? He's not the type to go to management and say, fire this guy, trade that guy, do this, do that. He's not that type. But I wish he were. I wish he were, because I really genuinely think that in order for Doc to leave, we need one of these stars to be like, hey, it's me or him. And I need them to make the right choice.
Well, wasn't there whispers of that? Wasn't there whispers of the players not liking?
I don't know, because
Remember
now
that?
there's sources saying that he's back, with no uncertain terms. And I thought, like, the way that James Harden answered the question about Doc, I thought that spoke volumes. And if you want James Harden back and you're trying to bring Doc back, I don't know if that's going to fit. I really don't know if that's going to fit. But
Harden might be a little healthier with that hamstring, but Harden might come back fresher with the rest of the hamstring.
Man, listen,
he just needs to stay away from Delilah's and all the other stuff.
James Harden to me gets a bare minimum pass, okay? Which is to say, I feel for him and this idea that he hasn't been right, condition-wise to play basketball the way that he wants to play for these last couple of seasons. And so I'm willing to give him some benefit of the doubt that a full offseason finally, where he can get back to his prime level of self, may do something for us.
I agree.
Willing to give him that sliver of an edge, but not by much.
His playmaking,
not by much.
He was exhausted.
Many times he was just completely disinterested. And how you can be completely disinterested and have the ball the majority of the time, I really don't know.
You know what it is? It's his usage. If you think about his usage from his time in Houston to now, like, he's like one of them. Like, he had a 5-year stretch where he was one of the most prolific scorers ever, and was like lighting the league up. So to be on that such a high variance and usage for such a long time, I'm sure like he's not a shell of himself, but he's starting to get nicked up. So he's like, you know what?
He needs to change the way
he's too light. It's easy for him. It's easy for him.
He needs to change the way he conditions. He needs to change the way that he prepares his body. He needs to change the way that he recuperates from injury. Okay,
he needs to listen. I'm sorry to cut you off. He needs to watch videos of all the people criticizing him and just go to work. And just go to work and just work and work and work, and then heal his hamstring up, come back. I don't know.
Yeah.
Eat more vegetables.
It'll be interesting. I want to be able to believe in this idea that a full season of chemistry and continuity will do something. I want to believe that. I think you have 3 players that you can reasonably hope to improve: Joel, Maxey, and Harden. Everybody else is movable. Everybody else is movable and fungible, and we get what we can get out of them because you don't have a first round pick. You're not going to be picking high. We've traded a lot of our good assets away. Danny Green's hurt now. Our bench is fucking terrible. And we need better. We need better.
It's lacking in some departments. We don't have an alpha dog. We don't have a dog. We don't have a we don't have an enforcer off the bench. We need a Mike Scott. We need a guy like what are the twins? The twins from Philly. We need like what's their names? We need like an enforcer. We need somebody.
We just need somebody that can go out there and be aggressive and just crash the boards and not be so passive.
We had that in Drummond.
For all that Tobias Harris had to say about mental toughness, I saw you skating backwards. Like, the ball went free, and instead of going to attack the ball, you allowed the Heat player to get the ball and drive up the court.
We lost a lot of that too.
Where Jimmy Butler got his own rebound. He couldn't believe it. I couldn't believe it. No one could believe it. I really do think that some of it is coaching, and a lot of it is the players. So I do believe in this idea that your ball shouldn't need to motivate you for this game. You should be able to motivate yourself. However, somebody's got to keep those fires burning, and that's where Doc fails. All All right. I want to take a little bit of a transition here and get to the real reason we're all here, Eagles. Okay, I'm gonna put the Sixers to bed because honestly, there's not. I don't know unless I hear the words "Doc is fired." There's really not too much I'm gonna really care about the Sixers right now. It's all Eagles. Let's just turn the page on something that can hopefully go a little better. Okay. So the Eagles schedule was released. We're going 17-0. It's a done deal. Okay. Whooping that ass with the Lions first. Okay. Then coming for the Vikings. Cha-cha. Right? I wanna get your thoughts on the schedule
Foles,
release, right?
Foles,
Foles, yeah. I want to get
Foles,
your thoughts on
Foles,
the
Foles.
schedule release and how you're feeling about the Eagles matchups this year and how you too early predictions
Too
on
early.
where do you think the Eagles' record's going to be at the end of these 17 weeks?
I'm excited. We got 5 primetime games this year. It's
Seems like
looking
they think the
good.
Eagles have to do something.
It's looking good. And we get the Packers in Philly late. It might be the last time we see Aaron Rodgers in person. In Green Bay.
Yeah.
We have the Vikings prime time to open the home season opener. That's the day after my birthday.
Oh
We
wow.
have we have the Cowboys Christmas Eve.
Mm.
Ooh,
It should be a very interesting schedule. I'm looking at this schedule and I'm liking some of these and I'm not liking some. We're ending our season through the NFC division for the second season in a row, which will absolutely I'm putting it out here now. It's going to come down to these last 3 games. I'm going to put it out there. If we can beat the Giants back to back, I think we win the division. Dallas is always tough, but I like
Commanders.
yeah.
Captain Commander.
We're gonna see Carson come back and see how that goes. See what happens
Interceptions.
there.
Let's get some
playing
picks.
the third easiest schedule in the league this year.
Yeah, 30th, right?
We have like 4 short road games, 4 short road weeks, and that's not. No one likes that. That's tough on the body. We're not playing I feel like our biggest QB threat is Aaron Rodgers. That's our biggest QB threat that we're facing this season.
And
I like that.
And Dak.
Man, our biggest QB threat is Aaron Rodgers. Get out of here. Please stop with that. Please stop with that. Don't even. What we're not gonna do is gas up Dak Prescott like
that's true, especially not right before Sunday.
No.
Definitely not, Lord.
Okay. So I refuse. Okay, sorry, you're not gonna hear it from me. Not right now. So, anyway, so I like the way this schedule looks for us. We're not playing very many top QBs, and I think that was a big deal last season, right? That we played well against these sub 500 type QBs, but when we got a little bit higher, they completely annihilated us. Hopefully this defense is better, right? And this defense looks better on paper, but still we don't want to go against these top 500 QBs. So I'm looking at the schedule and I'm like, none of these QBs except for Aaron Rodgers is off the cuff, like not beatable. I will say honorary mention goes to Kirk Cousins. I fucking hate that guy. I hate his play.
Well,
I hate his play.
He's 2-9. He's 2-9 in prime time or something like that.
Is it a primetime game? Oh, it's a primetime game. Okay. Yeah, but when he does win in primetime, it's against us. That part, I he always plays well against us. So there's gonna be two competing variables here. There's gonna be this primetime game, which is gonna be pushing him to a loss, and he's gonna be playing us, which is gonna be pushing.
Do you remember that game? It was like a 4 p.m. game where he dismantled us in the first few minutes of the game when he was with the
Probably. I really try to wash away all Kirk Cousins games because I really hate his play. I don't think he's a good QB, and yet he continuously whoops our ass. And then because he whips our ass, right? That props him up as a good QB. And I
Yeah,
hate it. I hate it. I hate that we
he
give him that
Kirk, Kirk
that
Cousins.
boost.
He's the master of throwing touchdowns to like like third and fourth string tight ends you never heard of. Like,
Yeah.
who's this dude?
Oh
Like
yeah. Oh
MacArthur
yeah.
Jeffries with the touchdown. Kirk Cousins. I'm like,
Oh,
damn, Eagles, come on, man. Y'all can't cover the
I
third tight
can't
end.
stand Kurt Cousins. But you know, it'll be an interesting game. I'm very, very excited to see what we put out on the field. Like I keep seeing all these clips of all these other teams and their OTAs and their mini
Oh,
camps.
in the rookie
We don't
camp.
have ours yet. And ours are still like maybe a week or so away. And I'm like, oh, I need content. Give me some Eagles base content. I want to see an AJ Brown touchdown. Come on, come on. We gave up so much for it. I'm really excited to see what comes of it. And this schedule looks good. On paper, I think it's what you would like to see from a competitive standpoint, in the sense of you don't have that many tough competitors. It's not what you'd like to see from a traveling standpoint. I think it's going to be a little bit tough. We're bound to lose. I think we have 3 or 4 short week games. We're bound to lose one of those games. Just the way that the schedule and the body is going to work.
One that we don't expect.
Yeah. One. Hopefully, it's
Like that
not one of
like
the
the
division
Texans
games.
game. The Texans game. Gosh.
No, I'm going.
Oh,
I'm trying to be at that game. I hope it's not that one. Let's say
no.
that. Let's say that is for the Colts or something. Like we don't care.
Oh yeah.
A 1 p.m. home game. You
No, we
know.
would want the Colts because they beat us. We would want the Colts.
Eh, I'd be okay as long as it's not a division game. You know. Like I
Yeah.
don't like we could do that against the Colts. We could do that against the Steelers. Hell,
Looking
even
at the
maybe
Bears.
against the Titans.
Not the Bears with what's his
No,
name?
no,
Justin
definitely not the
Fields.
Bears. And not the Saints. No, actually, no. We got to beat the Saints because we need
We
them.
gotta
The
beat
Saints
the
to lose.
Saints.
Right. We need the Saints.
We
to
gotta
lose.
beat them.
We got to beat them.
That's the weirdest, most unique. Like we despise the Saints. We like the Saints, but we despise them. But we don't.
Yeah, because the Saints always be whipping our ass, but you know what? Drew
That's
Brees is
true.
not here
Malcolm
anymore.
Jenkins. Malcolm
Yeah,
Jenkins
Malcolm
got his
Jenkins is
revenge.
retired. Um, Drew Brees is gone, and last time I heard, we whooped that ass. Okay, that was the one game I was actually really happy with Jalen Hurts.
Oh yeah,
That was
that was the game. He
that was a
went
pretty
off.
good game. So it's be interesting. It'll be exciting. I'm hopeful about it. There's definitely, if I look at this schedule, I can see 10 wins. Like we did 9-8 last season. It's crazy to say that I could see like just improving on one, but I think even just improving on one game win is a big deal. It's a big
Yeah,
deal.
it is. Yeah, it is.
So I could see 11 to 12. I could see 10 to 11 games on this schedule.
Shout out to Bird Gang 31. Yo, what's up, brother? They had their show the other day and they were talking about it, and I really feel like we can get 12 wins.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You
I
could
think
talk
that's the ceiling. Like if we need injuries to play a small, we need to get over, not have too many significant injuries.
Mm-hmm.
We need to find out who's going to be that second short yarders running back and the backup tight end. Everything else will work itself out. And also, most importantly, I feel like Gannon, they're waiting to make a decision on corner. As I think they're going to wait until camp and OTAs and stuff to see how one of those young guys sticks at outside corner opposite of Slay. Maybe Zach McPherson, maybe Josh Jobe from Alabama, maybe what's Mario Goodson from Clemson. Not like two of those guys went undrafted. Like Tay Gowan, Kay Vincent, like a number one of those guys. I think they're going to try to give them ample opportunity to win that job opposite of Slay. And they're working on it behind the scenes as we speak. I feel like one of those guys are going to emerge as the opposite corner of Slay and do a really good job. it's important because we've never had a homegrown corner, and I think this might be in a long time because we had the Bobby Taylors and the Troy Vincents and uh, the Lito Shepherds and the Sheldon Browns. I think we might be onto something behind the scenes, and
Yeah,
I'm
I
excited to
agree with
see
you.
how that plays out. Our linebacking crew is looking disgusting with Dean and Kazir White. Our defense, we have a defensive end outside linebacker room now. That's
Yeah.
so ill
Yeah, that's a big
because
deal to
the
have a
teams,
different third group just dedicated defensive end linebacker. It's going to be interesting to see what role they play.
the
I feel like
teams,
the defense is the biggest question.
the teams that have been successful, having like really balanced and good defenses over the last few years, have ran even in odd fronts, and the fact that we have that now shows that we're gonna now come out 4-3. Just hope Fletcher Cox gets up the middle and Brandon Graham and whoever and Josh Sweat get sacks on the
Yeah,
outside.
no more
It's
wide
gonna be
nine, no more
oh
4-3.
you're gonna
You know, you're definitely going to see a lot of um different, like you said, different matchups. We're going to be able to switch between a 4-3 and a 3-4. We're not going to have this time where you're going to feel constricted. So when they need to be a 4-3, I think you'll see a little bit more Fletcher Cox out there. You'll see
yep
him trying to push. And when they need a 3-4, you'll see a lot of these young guys out there in these
yep
joker roles. You know, I definitely think that's going to be the case, you know. And I agree with you. The big question remains that right that corner safety spot. Where that part is still really not solidified. On paper, the defense looks stacked. I mean, we have maybe arguably one of the best linebacker groups we've had since D'Amico Ryans was in there,
oh
and
yeah
when Jordan Hicks was still, you know, hustling and doing his thing. You know,
yep
we had a really ferocious linebacker group back then. But I think right now these are young guys. These are young,
yeah
hungry young men, and I think that they're bound to do something. It'll really honestly depend, I think, on the health of Dean. You know, he slid because of concerns about his pec. Obviously, he came in. He said he's healthy. He was a full participant in rookie mini camp. You like what you hear when that comes. You just have to see what happens when we get closer to the season. You know, we won't know until training camp. You know, if he can keep it up or be healthy enough to play. I think that'll tell us the true tale of it. Also with Jordan Davis, you know, getting him ready to play, getting him up to speed, seeing what Cam Jurgensen can do. It'll be interesting. All right,
the Kobe
we can
Dean's
talk.
gonna be. Did you see somebody named the Kobe Dean? Somebody named the Kobe Dean their rookie defensive rookie of the year. I was like, I can see that happening.
Yeah,
I can see it.
yeah,
He
yeah, yeah.
reminds me
He's
so
one
much.
of the most prolific linebackers in the entire country. I could definitely see that happening, and he's got a huge chip on
That's
his
Mike
shoulder.
Singletary. If all goes as planned, that's Mike Singletary.
Yeah, we'll
If
see.
if if
Hopefully. All right, now
it's looking good.
it'll be a good one. I'm definitely excited about the nucleus of this team, and I want to get into all those position battles. But right now we've got a DraftKings ad break, and I just want to tell you that the NBA playoff action is nonstop at DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sporting bets partner of the NBA. This week, new customers can bet just $5 on any team to win and get $150 in free bets if they do. Looking to turn a small bet into a big payday during the NBA playoffs? With DraftKings same game parlays, you can do just that. Create your own parlay by combining multiple bets with like which team will win, total threes made, total rebounds, and more, and boom, you have a shot at even a bigger payout. Right now, all customers can place a same game parlay with three or more legs and get a free back bet with up to $25 if one leg doesn't hit. All right. Now, what we need to do is download the DraftKings Sports app now. Use the promo code TPPN, scrolling right down on your screen. Bet $5 on any NBA team to win their game and get $150 in free bets if they do. That's promo code TPPN, only at DraftKings Sportsbook. Minimum age and eligibility restrictions apply. See show notes for details. All right, that sounds like a great deal. Get that code. Get that app. All right. Now, I really want to, like we said, we were talking about these position battles coming up for this Eagles training camp, and I really want to get into that and talk a little bit about how you feel about some of these groups. We talked about the defense and how that seems that it's going to be really good, but I want to talk about this offense. Sneakily, I want to start with honestly the tight end group, because I think that's a sneaky need for us. We have um, Dallas Goddard, and he's our tight end. We have JJ Arthega-Whiteside transitioning for the first time. We have um, this tight end that we drafted, and who else?
Grant
Oh, we got Rogers,
Calcaterra.
Grant. We got Rogers.
Calcaterra. He
Yeah,
was good.
and Tyree Jackson, I think, coming back off from injury. So it's an interesting group. When you think about it and see the names that we have, who do you think washes out as our second tight end?
I think this will be Jack Stoll to start. I don't like it, but Tyree, if he's not expected to be back until October, I believe, right?
Wow.
Maybe hopefully sooner. Hopefully sooner. I heard that like months ago. Hopefully sooner for him, because I think he would have a good shot. I like Grant Calcaterra a lot. Balled out at University of Oklahoma, had concussions.
History of concussions.
He retired and became an EMT. Did that, and then he decided to go. Once he got cleared medically, he decided to go back to. He got into SMU, played at SMU, and became a co-captain, and like really did well. I guess he had a third round grade coming out. Well, at the time, if he when he was projected to come out, he was a high rising prospect. Like, he was really good. I think he would be a great number 2, kind of like a Selleck. He reminds me of
see
Selleck
that
a
block.
lot.
We do need a blocking tight end, because I think now we're gonna have. Honestly, I'll be interested to see, because with the infusion of AJ Brown, we definitely have way more passing options for Jalen Hurts. And Dallas is a great blocker. We love him on those wham plays. But I really hope that we get another really prime blocking tight end, to really kind of allow Dallas to go out and do what he does best, which is, attack the ball and get up and outmuscle these smaller linebackers and these smaller safeties. So I really would think that maybe if Dallas can get out into the middle more, Jalen Hurts will be more comfortable in playing in the middle. I think that that's a huge level of growth for him, to be able to go over there and to work there. And then tight end's best friend is a quarterback that's comfortable doing that. So I'll be very interested to see what Jalen Hurts does there. And then, I don't know. I want to say JJ can give us something. I want to say JJ can give us something, but I'm not going to hold out too much hope for that. And I was kind of hoping that Tyree Jackson would be back a lot sooner. So it sucks to hear that maybe it might take a while into the season before we get anything out of him. So we'll see. That's an area of the group where we'll see, right? And then honestly, like, going back, or what do you have?
Oh, I just wanted to shout out one of the tight ends from Penn State. He's at the rookie camp as on a tryout basis from Penn State. His name is John Harrell. He went to Strathaven from Wallingford, PA. Shout out. Much love. That's Delaware County, Delco Pride.
Hey, Delco love over here.
I'm from
But
Penn
I mean, listen, the space is there. If he can make an impact, that's an area of emphasis. We got to get somebody over there. And then
He's a big kid, 6'9", 240, and he was a basketball player. And
that's what's up. We'd love to see it. I'd love to see him go out and be dominant in that area. And then if we bring up another player we need to do well, I think about the wide receiver group. We have a lot of expectations in that group. I'm not talking about 1 and 2. We already know who 1 and 2 is going to be. I think we already know who our slot's going to be, right?
Quez and Greg.
Yeah.
Did you just say Greg? I don't know.
Did you just say Greg?
I just wanted to get reaction. I swear.
Yo, you play too much, bro. You I was like, no. I ain't know. Quez, what? So yeah, no, we got Quez in the slot. So that kind of leaves that fourth and fifth position. And I was talking to Connor about this earlier. I think there was discussion about maybe trading Jalen Rager for that safety up in the Ravens safety.
Chuck Clark.
Chuck
Yeah.
Clark. Obviously, it didn't pan out because who would make that deal? Like, what? Laughable.
I would have been like, here's a free hoagie. Here's a free year of Wawa hoagies too. Cash consideration.
Whatever you need. I fix you up with like a couple of 6-rounders in like 2030 just to get you off my head.
Here's a Xerox machine and a cash considerations.
Right, exactly. Like we'll take some of his contract off our hands if you just take him. Just take him. But no, I was telling Connor that I think that if Jalen wants to be successful in that fourth or fifth wide receiver role, he's got to get on special teams. He's got to be willing to be on special teams. And I know that's quite a fall from grace for a first-round pick to find themselves in that gunner role or this, that, and third. But I really don't, like, as far as
he
him
needs
being
to be fighting for his life. He needs to be fighting for his life. As you see it where the TCU, he needs to be fighting for his life.
Exactly. I don't know if he got it. I don't know. We talked about this earlier, the dog mentality, and how we're trying to build a team that is resilient mentally and that has that dog, like you won't outwork me, you won't out hustle me, you won't out effort me, type of mindset and grind when shit gets tough. I don't know if Jalen Rager has that. I think he wants to have that, but when the tough gets going, the going gets, you know what I mean? So.
He's going through the same thing Aguilar went through, and it's kind of funny. It's so weird.
But I think Nelson Aguilar really, really solidified a really good role for himself in the slot, and then we gave him more opportunity. We put too much responsibility back on his plate, knowing that he could only do what he needed to do. And I do think there's a question of that. Obviously, we drafted Jalen Rager too high, and the expectation of being the star when you've never been the star. I think it's too much.
He was. I think they simplified his route tree at TCU, and a lot of. I mean, their offense is nice. I love that offense.
He wasn't probably in his books the way he needed to be, and I think he could use an excuse of
first round. And I'm a first round receiver. I'm just gonna show up, come in shape,
Exactly. And I think
they're just gonna give me some love. Let me get
right. And I think when you have this belief, like what went wrong is that my quarterback wasn't good, not that I didn't work hard enough. I think when you come in with that type of mindset, it leaves for a lot of excuses. And I'm not
good
here
catches,
to talk about.
He did. Over his career, he does have some great highlight catches.
Right.
But it just has to be more consistent.
Great highlight catches.
He could do all that stuff in camp, and like that catch he had in camp, like you could do all that stuff when it don't matter.
Don't talk to me about camp.
Do it when
please don't talk to me about practice, John. Please, don't talk to me about. Talk about practice.
Practice.
Okay, practice. Everything looks beautiful. This is what we. That Tua Tagovailoa video, okay, of him throwing that rocket, okay, to his new wide receiver who had to stop and hold his comeback for. Don't talk to me about practice and propaganda content tweets that come out from the team's media site. As far as
that was that was like shot Ben Simmons-esque, right? Like,
exactly.
watch this throw, watch
exactly.
this catch.
Like it's very much it's giving Ben Simmons off-season jumpers. Okay, that's what it's giving. All right, I'm tired of that. I'm tired of these
Stephen A when it was boxing, or Stephen A when it was boxing.
I'm tired of these off-season workout videos where I'm in the lab, grind mode. Oh, you can't work me, you can't hustle me, bro. I know you put it down the second the picture was over. Stop.
Tariq Hill had to stop and come all the way back.
Cobbin came all the way back. You lucky you had man's hamstring didn't pop. Come on. Oh my gosh. I feel for him. I hope the money was worth it. He's gonna be doing a lot of that this season.
That's
So
sad. That breaks
yeah,
my heart because
we'll
Andy,
see.
he wouldn't. That would have cemented his legacy. I think he made a mistake.
You think so? I don't know. I think at the
I
end of
think
the
he made a
day, when you
mistake.
want to
He should have
go
stayed.
home, you want to go home.
He should have stayed there. They would love him forever. Like you
Yeah.
should have stayed there. That would have cemented your history. Like you already set all these records. Why leave that? Just take whatever for now.
Money talks and money
Stuff is
walks.
crazy. Like there's so much inflation. Just take whatever, work on it, and then
Listen,
work
you
on
know there's
that.
no
Why
sales
would he
tax in
want to
Florida,
leave?
right? You know there's no state. Sorry,
You
excuse me.
guys
No
already
state
won.
tax.
Go
There's
back.
no state tax in Florida. Okay, money talks and money walks. So
He's trying to
I
come
listen.
out with
I
a
wouldn't turn down that deal either. Fuck, I don't care who's throwing to me. I'm still getting paid.
oh in South Beach.
Yeah, laying up
Oh,
there, and the
he
weather's
wanted the
nice. Give me a nice little mansion. I'm home. Go home. Show out for the fam. I don't gotta drive them to see me. I could just drive to see them. Oh, it works out perfect for him. And he got a
Dolphins too.
quarterback that sucks, so all the blame will definitely go to Tua.
Oh, you're gonna be right there to see it all too. Oh, but
Yes, you don't even know how close I am to the Miami Dolphins stadium. It'll be very, very interesting to see. It'll be very interesting to see. Well, I will be until I sadly I'm off to greener pastures this fall. Believe it or not, gonna be in Tennessee, but the Titans aren't playing us there this year. Crazy enough, we're playing them at home of all things. The year I move over there. But anyway, um, let's get into our last topic of the night. I want to talk about the Eagles front office and some of the changes that we've had recently. I've been reading some articles and some reports about um, different executives who are moving on. We obviously know that our scouting director on the pro scout and the college scout, they both went on to assistant GM positions. Catherine Rach, I don't know how to pronounce her last name. She went on with the position with the Vikings. We fired Andy Weidl's little brother recently and a couple of other guys. Andy Weidl just went in for his second interview for the GM of the Steelers.
that'd be a good move.
Okay. We brought in a couple of new guys. Tom Donahue's out. He's no longer the senior advisor to Howie Roseman anymore. And now I think in his position is his name escapes me at the moment, but some other guy has moved into that role, and we've hired a couple of new people. So it's an interesting time. It's kind of crazy because we're now finally, I think, talking about the Howie Roseman executive tree and how
Yeah,
robust it might be a little bit, right? He grows a huge department, but it bears out with a lot of bright-minded individuals.
it's true.
It's interesting. It's
It is.
very, very interesting. Obviously, there's no assistant GM, right? He likes to delineate power so that he can kind of always be top dog. Um, what are your thoughts on these front office changes? How do you see this whole thing?
I like. It's bittersweet because seeing Andy White's little brother go was hurt a little bit. Um, but they're looking to bring in John Elway's right hand man and someone that has handled their drafts when they were really good, and I think that'll be a good asset to our front office. Howie's done a great job of finding young talent, and Jeffrey too, and the allure of working for a first class organization. They've really done a great job of bringing a young youth, a talented youth, and hopefully it'll just continue to just churn out more and more. Um, Happy, we're in a good place, got a good organization. Um, Everything's looking good. We couldn't say that like 2 years ago whenever the sky
Man,
was
this is
falling.
this is the thing. Howie's so good at building. This is the thing. My thing is, and I'll forever give Howie credit. Whip's not here, so he can't naysay me. I'll give Howie credit because he's great at building. I think nucleuses. We've seen that now through 3, maybe even 4 different regiments outside of that Dream Team debacle early on,
Oh, yeah,
which I think was still he wasn't really in control because Andy Reid was still calling the shots. But his first tenure with Chip, his first tenure with Doug, his first tenure with now with Nick, you can clearly see that he's capable of building rosters. I've never questioned his ability to find a new deficiency in the market and start mining that for success, before everybody else catches on. He was the first to realize that you could give up your draft picks and do well with there, and then he did that. Now he's the first to realize now you need to accumulate draft picks for because money purposes, and now so he's on the cutting edge of that. Like I'm fully on board with that. It's maintenance. It's maintenance, 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 maintenance. Okay, he is unable to sustain what he creates. Now, whether that is through talent purges, like we get a lot of free agents. A lot of front office changes. Obviously, every draft, there's always a lot of turnover after each draft. Whether that is through power struggles, like he's just early on, everybody is in that honeymoon phase. But then when the grind starts and the losing starts and the finger pointing starts, he's always making sure he's not the one holding the bag. I don't know what it is that creates this element where it just the drop off. But this is my mantra. Okay, this is my mantra. One time is an accident, twice is a coincidence, and 3 times is a pattern. Okay? He's already been on that twice now. We got 2 coincidences now.
Don't be the third, Howie.
This whole thing with Nick might now just be a pattern. And I'm wary of that. So go ahead, Mr. Positive Man. Talk me into being bullish on the Eagles front office again. Go ahead.
You're right though. Like I can't even say anything. I'm like, yep. Yeah.
The well laid out argument. Okay, I came with a lot of evidence.
But I don't know. Something changed. Just like the biggest thing I wanted to see with Howie was how they drafted. And he surprised so many people. I was like, wow, he did a good job. I'm like, but then right after the draft, this when the trickle down effect started happening. Like, did they just let him draft and then let them go? Like,
yeah.
I'm like,
no, I think the AJ Brown trade changes the whole trajectory and the narrative of his offseason and his draft. It definitely becomes a crown jewel of a move. It's a big move. It's a power move. It's a move that, for all intents and purposes, throws in all your support behind Jalen Hurts. Honestly, to me, it's the best PR move you could get because, look, I traded real assets for the QB's best friend, and if he still doesn't succeed, that's a win-win for me, because now I've got this great wide receiver, and I could go draft a very low-cost quarterback to help us. Everything's positioned. You know what I mean? I think that they're looking at it and they're saying, we're either going to get Jalen at a great price because he was a second-round pick, or we're going to still be able to have a rookie QB on a very manageable contract for the next 5 years. Like we're sitting pretty in a financial cap situation.
And an extra pick next year too.
What'd you say?
And an extra pick in the first next year too.
Exactly. So I think there's definitely a situation where the Eagles feel like they're playing with house money this season. So that affords them the opportunity to be a little bit more risque, to do a little bit of things, but while at the same time maintaining true to their sight line. They see a window opening. That Super Bowl window is opening. If it comes in now, that's amazing, and they'll do whatever they can to maintain it. But they don't mind if Jalen's not the guy. I think they feel comfortable with what might happen down the line. We all want Jalen to be the guy because that's the easiest way to get back to the promised land.
Jalen's going to be the guy. Jalen's working with Tom House. That dude is ready to ball. They got his best friend. They went out and got his best friend.
See, they got you, John. They sold you in. They sucked you in.
No. I just feel very confident with him. He's growing every year, and it's like he's in another. Sky's the limit.
I want to be able to believe that that final jump is going to happen with him. You usually see QBs take an astronaut. If the QB is going to take the leap, the leap is going to happen in between that second to third year. It's like, because a lot of QBs, you'll see them accelerate in their second year. Sometimes I understand a lot of things coming in. He'll accelerate in his third year. I'm willing to give him that. The Eagles are as well. You see, they've clearly set him up to say, we gave him all the tools to be successful. It is what it is.
Somebody predicted that he would be the first quarterback to throw for, was it Adam Camarada that's on a podcast with Jason Kelsey? Predicted that Jalen Hurts will be the first quarterback to throw for 4,000 yards and rush for 1,000 yards.
Wow. I would like to see that. Okay. I hope to see that this season. I definitely think that it'll come down to his ability to, like we've been talking about, elevate his game, and two, not be so predictable to today's NFL defenses. They've had a whole season to study him. I want to hopefully see him get beyond what they could make of him. I like the idea that, like you said, he's out there with Tom House and that QB area. He's infinitely coachable. So I definitely think he's going to take every inch of wisdom and advantage and edge that they can give him, and he's going to throw that into his work routine. And I know he's going to be hungry. Like, the hunger is without question in Jalen. Okay, the talent is not in question. It's can he elevate the consistency of the talent that we need him to be? And I think that is still the question. And I think legitimately the Eagles, I don't know. You're going to tell me I think the Eagles are sold on Jalen. I think that the Eagles are sold on the idea that they gave Jalen a fair chance. And I think there's a difference in that.
And I think they believe in him as a man. So I think I think it's up to God now. Come on, guys.
Right. It's up to the football guys. We hope and pray. Like I said, they were playing with house money. Either he's good and we're in a really good positional seed for the playoff, or he's not and we still have really high draft picks for a team that's ready, So we'll see. Thank you all for tuning in to another great episode of Three Birds and a Punt. Please make sure that you are downloading and subscribing. The podcast, we're streaming on Apple, Spotify, Megaphone, wherever you get your podcast. Make sure you follow us on Twitter at Three Birds and a Punt. Okay, on Twitter, Instagram, YouTube at Three Birds and a Punt. You can follow me at According to Athea on Twitter, and you can follow my guy John. Let him know, John.
John Monroe on Twitter.
John Monroe Jr. on Twitter. Okay. And this has been episode 44, Three Birds and a Punt. Go Birds.
Go Birds. Go Birds.